mother, actually, my grandparents came from Turkey on the boat through Ellis Island in 1920. My grandmother was pregnant with my mother. They were on the boat for 5 months, and they got to New York the early part of September, and my mother was born September 30th in Cleveland. And my mother went to St. Mary's Catholic School in downtown Detroit, because outside the door when she would leave school, my grandfather's barbershop was right there. So it was safe for her, and she was promoted twice in elementary school. She had beautiful handwriting. She took shorthand and stenography at Eastern High School. She graduated, I believe, in 1938. She worked for Holly Carburetor and met my father through, it was an arranged marriage in those days. I would say really by the time she turned 80, I could really see some changes. But you know, we all live in denial. And when they forget a word, they sort of fill in the blank. Or when they're telling a story that may not be accurate as you recall it, they fill in the blank or substitute a situation which they think fits the conversation. She had an episode in the middle of the night where she was taking pictures down and packing the apartment while I was asleep. The medication she was taking was no longer effective, and so she was beginning to wander. But there had been previous behavior, anxiety, sundowners, which, you know, I made a list of all of her symptoms, went to her cardiologist with her, talked to him privately, and he said she probably has dementia. My mother was given the end-stage diagnosis of dementia in December of 2009. Now, to me, immediately hospice clicked into my mind, but Mother is still cognizant in her own little world. We don't see a decline. She's not physically getting colds or the flu. Her weight is stable. So I didn't understand really that I could institute in-house hospice and that there would be a benefit to me as a family member. I only thought it was for the patient. And I only thought you did this and started this when there was a severe physical decline. If I had talked to someone who had utilized the services, I would have understood, now's the time to do this. It will give me a break. I only have to be at the nursing home 3 hours instead of 4 hours because somebody is there. Mother didn't like being alone. When she would see me coming down the hallway, it was like the cavalry had arrived. And I know it would have given me, now in retrospect, it would have given me some relief, and I was wearing thin. In-house hospice got Mother a better wheelchair. There was a cushion issue because Mother was so short, and I kept saying there's got to be a child's wheelchair. Well, they took care of it. They got her a better wheelchair with a high back, and we put the legs on it so she wouldn't wobble out because she had fallen out of the wheelchair a month before and got a goose egg on her forehead. She just toppled over. Even though there are lots of caregivers and CNAs in a nursing home, they can't watch everybody, and so Mother fell out of the wheelchair. I was getting some immediate results with in-house hospice in terms of hands-on care with Mother, and I liked that. And when I saw a change in her physically, I would call hospice, and they sent someone out even at 10 o'clock at night to check on her, to see how she was. I would have liked to have utilized in-house earlier because I understand she could have had more hands-on care. gotten her hair done, gotten her nails done. Someone would be there sitting with her, reading to her, visiting with her, and 1 hour to me would have been a vacation. I wasn't eating until after 8 o'clock every night when I got home. So I was putting my mother's needs first, which this is your parent, you do this, but I wasn't taking care of myself, and I was running on very low energy. Well, they helped me understand the process. They helped me understand the services that were available that I didn't know were available. And there was that gap between Mother's final diagnosis in December and initiating hospice. I wish I could have had someone who had used the service. Actually, I found out about in-house hospice. I had been given some literature, months and months before, but it doesn't register with the family members until you really until you see that there is a decline. Quality of life with in-house hospice can be greatly improved for the patient, and that's what I feel guilty about, that this service was available. Nursing homes don't initially market hospice, and by the time you need it, everybody's trying to put the fires out. People are in denial, they're not educated. At the community level, we really need to inform families through community services, through senior centers. Everybody thinks that hospice is a no-no. We don't want to think about it. That's end life. It's not end life. It's providing quality for the patient and for the family. So this is done gently. So not everything is a crisis. And when there's a change physically, it's not a major issue. You're prepared. You're educated. And that's what it is. It's educating the families, because everybody is going to need this at some point in their life. Utilizing in-house gave me permission to let go. So if I can help someone, I would be a liaison to a family. The reality is you feel alone. The family members feel alone, and they're suffering, just as though the family member is suffering.